You are inside the studio with Powertex. Welcome to the Mixed Media Podcast for artists, crafters, and adventurous creators. This podcast is for you if your creativity cannot be defined by any label, and where the only limit here is your imagination. I'm Michele Brewer, Creative Director at Powertex UK. Now let's talk all things Powertex, mixed media, and creativity. Welcome back to the Powertex Studio Podcast and our special Pathway series. Today, I'm delighted to introduce you to Rosi Nunn. Rosi's story is one I think will resonate with so many people because it begins with something that happened at school over 40 years ago. One experience was enough to make her believe she wasn't an artist, and that belief stayed with her for decades. In this conversation, we talk about confidence, creativity, and overcoming self-doubt, and how it's never too late to rediscover the artist within you. It's a heartfelt conversation, and I hope Rosi's journey inspires you as much as it inspired me. So now I am very excited to be talking to the lovely Rosi about her work on the Powertex pathway. So Rosi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rosi. I've just turned 60, which I'm actually quite proud about.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm a mum, a partner, a fur baby mum, my little dog, and I'm a crafter / artist. And I'm saying / artist because until I've did the pathway course, I wasn't an artist.
And there's a bit of history there about this, isn't there, Rosi? So I know as a crafter, you dabble in all sorts of crafts. So you have tried and loved and actually are very accomplished at a whole range of different mediums. But the artist label is something you've struggled with. Do you want to tell us why?
Yeah, at school, I actually wanted to do a craft course, but they cancelled it because there wasn't enough. So they said, do this art course instead. Oh, I can't draw. Well, no, I can draw. I'm not very good at it. But I did a 3D embroidery for my art exam. It was the O-levels back then. And they didn't know how to grade it. So they gave me a grade F, which is one up from fail back then. But back in 1982, 3D embroideries weren't heard of. It wasn't a thing. So even though I think looking at it now, it's quite simple, as a 16-year-old, it was quite accomplished.
Mm.
So it was an accomplished piece for a 16-year-old to do, but they couldn't see it because they had no knowledge of fine embroidery, I guess. So,
And I think that it's still true today in that the art at school is often seen, it's very two-dimensional, isn't it? It's drawing, as you said, I can't draw. And we use that, how good at representational art somebody is, and that's it. But what a shame they graded your piece like that because they did. It's good that you have the understanding that it was because they didn't know what to do with it. But that must have been a huge dent in your confidence.
oh, yes, it was. Yeah. And for years and years. I
It
still have
still
that
resonates
piece.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still share this story now. And I know that you're not alone in that. It's not just about embroidery. Many people had a negative experience at school with art, and it's hampered their creativity forevermore.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does. Words that are spoken as a child do go through with you to adulthood and they stay with you.
And that's formed a big part of your signature sculpture, hasn't it? So words featured. I've jumped ahead and missed the headpiece, but let's start with your signature piece because we're there now. Tell us about that.
Oh, my signature piece is called Still She Rises. All through growing up in my childhood, it wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad as some people's. There was a lot of negative words like you're useless, you're a waste of space. You was called poor by other kids because I didn't have a lot of money, but we made do with what we had, and we used skills that other people didn't have to do that, the make do amend kind of mentality. So I would scribble on pieces of paper that my grandfather brought home from the office and use pieces like that instead of a brand new notebook. So on my piece, all at the back of it's like black thorns all entangled together, and it's got those words in it. And part of my life, I had real bad mental health times, and there's some suicide awareness badges on it because, unfortunately, that was part of my life too. And then as I come back to the front, I don't want to dwell too much on the back because that is actually the past. But as you come round to the front of the piece, it was a broken plant pot, and there is a piece mended with kintsugi, which is the gold, Japanese, they call it golden joinery. And it's mended the plant pot to a certain extent, but I've left some of it broken, and that forms a stepways going up to the top with all the words for the different crafts that I do. And there's my guide badge. I'm a Queen's Guide, which I am intensely proud of because I achieved that. Nobody can take that off me. And different crafts that I did, but I also crocheted 2 roses. One was a Lancashire rose, because I moved over to Lancashire after a divorce. And then one is a white sparkly Yorkshire rose, because I'm a proud Yorkshire lass. And that has got my name on. And I really liked the thought that I could incorporate all my crafts into the Powertex piece, and not just the Powertex. So it's, what's the word? It's so, you can use anything with Powertex. It's such a great medium. And yeah, I am so proud of that. And it has little words like love, hope, faith, dreams, as little stepping stones going up. And
it's a real you piece, isn't it? Because it tells your story. You've got the roses in there, and of course you're Rosie, and it's not just thorns. You've got the beautiful roses, all of those different parts. And you're telling the story. It's a 360 piece. Every time I look at it, it's currently in the entrance hallway of the Powertex studio. So all sorts of visitors get to see it when they come in. But it's one of those pieces, every time you look at it, you find something new. There's a different part of the story. And one of the first people to see it while it was with me waiting to go to the NEC, one of the first people to see it, it really hit home for them. It was something that spoke to them very, very deeply. I remember talking to you about it. And I think these kinds of pieces of artwork that do tell a story are important because it's your story, but it could be someone else's too, and they can recognize themselves in that.
There are so many people who've had similar backgrounds growing up, had harsh words said to them that have carried through into adulthood. I mean, I was 45 when I came over to Lancashire. So it's only been 15 years that I've worked on myself and got to this place where the past doesn't bother me anymore. And, I'm not useless. I'm useful. I'm not poor.
Love that.
I'm rich in talent. It's all the words that are on there, I can find the opposites of as a positive. And I just wanted to show, still she rises, and I'm still rising.
It's a story of hope, isn't it, for people, that it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to end in that negative early space. And you can be a crafter and an artist. You don't have to pick one or the other. And one doesn't eliminate the other. They're 2 different skill sets, but also they can intertwine, and look what you can make from them. So tell us about your headpiece, which is the one we have pictured here.
Oh, my headpiece. To totally changed from the beginning. I wanted to do something nicey, pretty with corals and looking really pretty, and it just didn't work. And it ended up where I live on the northwest coast. There is the Gormleys, which are 100 iron men placed on the beach. Some are sunk nearly all the way, some are standing up. Some have actually been taken away because they've rotted. So I've called my piece 101. And he's one of the ones that didn't ascend. And he's stuck coming out of the sand forever. He'll never ascend, but he's accepted that, and he's joined in with the nature around him, and he has seashells covering his eyes so he can't see, so he's not missing out. He has his imagination still. He has a crab nesting under his neck, a lobster at the back, and jellyfish at the top with
The jellyfish lights up too,
the
doesn't
jellyfish
it?
lights up, yes. Yeah. And he's got abalone shell fish intertwined through the nets. But yeah, he's sort of accepted that he'll never rise up, but he's become one with nature, and he's quite happy that he's there, allowing the nature and the corals to grow on him and being a part of it. So he's not exempt. He's not missing out. He's part of it. Whereas the others
That's
have ascended.
beautiful.
He's got his own place and accepted with nature. Yeah.
So, both of your pieces tell a story, don't they? So you're a real storyteller, and I think that just shines through in both of your pieces of work. So, what would you say to somebody who, because you've said that the being able to call yourself as an artist happened through the pathway. So, what would you say to either yourself or somebody who was in the same position that you were a year ago, thinking I couldn't do that, or where maybe their confidence is not in the right place? What would you say to them?
I'd say give it a go. The pathway, the community of the pathway was so amazing that everybody supported each other. And yes, we all judged, like, I'm not as good as you and yours is better than mine. That
All
didn't
judged
matter.
yourselves, didn't you? You didn't judge each other harshly. It was yourselves.
No,
You were
we all
being
judged
very tough.
ourselves, and in the end everybody's piece was so amazing. But the community, the people, we were just helping each other with little suggestions, and if somebody was stuck or needed something, we all got together. And then when our confidence failed us, we were there building each other up. I mean, I was dreading doing it. Yeah, I wanted to do it. I wanted to expand my skills, but I was just so overwhelmed with the fact of starting it and doing it. But it made it so easy. And now I'm not overwhelmed by starting things. I can't wait to start things.
It was a
So,
big thing as well.
yes,
Exhibiting, ending with the exhibition at the NEC, had that looming over you throughout the pathway. Why do you think experiences like this matter for artists?
I think we learn a lot about ourselves. We learn that we can do these things, skills that we might not have, we can learn, but we learn a lot about ourselves and that we can do this, and that our best is good enough. We are good enough. We don't have to try to be like anybody else's. My pieces are completely different from other people's pieces, but
Yeah.
mine are good enough.
I think the beauty in is in the uniqueness, because we can get stuck looking at and thinking, oh, that's amazing, I'd love to make that or something like that. And then you lose yourself in the process and your own unique ability. But actually it's your own work that
Yeah,
when you have that chance to shine
yeah,
becomes
that's
important.
why mine wanted to be nicey, because other people's were going to be nice, but it didn't fit. it just didn't fit what I was doing. And
It wasn't happening for you, was it? It was not going to work. It was like, no, Rosie, this is not what I want to do.
My daughter has said she doesn't want it in her bathroom now, which is great. I get to keep it because it's too scary. But I don't see it as scary. You know,
no, I didn't see it as scary either.
No.
Is there anything else you'd like people to know about your journey on the pathway?
I've gone from being a crafter, and I'm a level 4 tutor with no confidence, to being an artist who sky's the limit. And I can now say I'm an exhibited artist. It might not seem a lot to some people, but I'm an exhibited artist, and you can't take that away from me. You know,
it's huge.
And it is huge, yeah. So where I started from, you know, an F in art to an exhibited artist.
Exhibiting at the National Exhibition Centre, at the biggest creative craft show in the UK and one of the largest in Europe. So not just any old exhibition, Rosie. There were a lot of people that saw your work. I mean, you were able to come to the exhibition yourself. You saw how many people were there.
Yeah. It was amazing, and I have to say I live with chronic illnesses, so sometimes I can't do. But once you do get out and do it, art and craft really do help mental health and any illnesses. So I would recommend the Pathway course to anybody. Give it a go.
You'll get
as much help as you need with the community, Michele.
Can I tell everybody, you're a mental health first aider, aren't you?
I am, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, you know, you could speak with some authority when you say that, you know, this helps. This has helped you personally, but it's also something that you have training in.
Yeah. And, you know, the mental health and the chronic illnesses I have, that I can't work a full-time job, but I do volunteer and do as much as I can when I can. And teaching people craft or Powertex gives me so much pleasure. And I have so much more confidence now to do it since the pathway. I'm an exhibited artist.
I'm looking at your smiling face here, Rosie, and it makes me so happy because we've shared privately your story, and there's so much more to you. We really could talk all day, and the challenges that you've overcome. And you just barely mentioned at the end you live with chronic illness, but that's a big thing. And I know that can isolate people. It can keep them stuck. It can make their worlds very small. There are some people that unable to leave the house. And with all of these challenges, you were still able to overcome those. And I know you also help others to do that. And I thank you for sharing your story here, because I'm hoping that you will inspire, and I'm sure you will inspire other people too. So I'm going to put a link in for people to take a closer look at your work with our online exhibition, and your contact details if they'd like to find ways to create with you.
Yeah, that would be lovely. And if anybody ever needs to chat about the mental health or chronic illnesses, I'm happy to do that, because a problem shared is a problem halved, and I have the experience, and it's a shame to waste it.
Rosie, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure as always, and I look forward to seeing where your creative journey takes you next.
Yeah, I have a stack of Pringles tins to find something to work with. Watch this space.
Watch this space. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you so much for listening. And a huge thank you to Rosie for sharing her story with such honesty and generosity. One of the things I love most about the Pathway programme is that every artist arrives with a different story. Some are looking to develop their skills, some are searching for inspiration, and others, like Rosie, are rediscovering a part of themselves they thought they'd lost. If you'd like to see Rosie's artwork and learn more about her creative journey, you'll find links to the online pathway booklet for her headpiece and her contact details in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow the podcast and leave me a review if you'd like to. It helps to get these stories to more creative people. And thank you for listening. I'll see you next week for another inspiring pathway conversation. And until then, remember, the only limit is your imagination.